So there's this notion that if we only had a more direct democracy, it would solve all the problems we have with big money in politics, etc., etc. That, as far as I can tell, is very, very wrong. Not only is it very, very wrong, but it's actually contrary to the truth. It seems to me that the cause of many of our political problems is, in fact, direct democracy itself. That our democracy is too direct. Why would I say something like that? What's so bad about direct democracy? Well, let's just look at the most basic and obvious aspect of it. Do you personally, my dear viewer, know everything there is to know about politics, economics, science, religion, philosophy, and all the other possible facets of what it means to govern a modern society? No? You don't? Then you need to delegate. If you don't delegate, if you don't trust, and instead you want control over what your government does in a very direct way, then how do you make decisions on the basis of all the things that you don't understand? I mean, I guess in an ideal world, you would go out and you would research and you would learn all you can about the topics of the day to try and figure out what the best solution is, and then you would cast your direct democratic vote for the policy that, by your research, you have determined is the best thing. So first of all, ain't nobody got time for that. We have lives. We have families, we have jobs, we have things we'd rather be doing with our time than diving into the minutiae of politics. Most of us do. Asking every citizen to be completely informed about all the issues is just insane. So how do they make those decisions? They have to rely on some source of information telling them what the truth is, telling them what the best thing is. And what source do you think is going to get the most people? And how do you get an uninformed and time crunched populace to make a decision? You advertise, you sell it to them. What idea sells the best? Probably one that spends the most money. Asking people to make uninformed decisions is asking them to make those decisions on the basis of advice. If you're asking them to make those decisions on the basis of advice, they will use the most compelling piece of advice they have. The most compelling piece of advice they can find is likely to be the most expensive piece of advice. The one that was the most polished, the most paid for, the most advertised, the most distributed, the most other descriptive words that mean the same thing. And lo and behold, that's what we have. Because as an electorate, we vote less for people, for humans that we know, that we trust, that we believe have our best interests at heart, and more for policies. We're all caught up in an argument about political minutia and economic strategy and the little details of what are you going to do when you're president. And we all want to elect someone who believes the same things that we do, and that's insane. We all want control. That's what we're all seeking. We all want control over the country and over politics. And as I've said in other videos, control is destructive. Trust but verify. Not what we do. We control and then we blame when everything goes wrong. The great irony of it all is that direct democracy is most advocated by people who are most concerned about money in politics. But direct democracy, as far as I can tell, is the cause of all the money in politics. If you made our democracy more representative, if you shifted the focus to people rather than specific policies, people would be less influenced by the sale of ideas and would be more influenced by trust, by people who have their best interests at heart, by people who have common interests. And those people, the representatives, would be able to have the difficult conversations and make the difficult choices that, to be honest, and inescapably so, that the majority of the electorate just doesn't have time for. It's not a matter of competence. It's not a matter of intelligence. We have things to do. Direct democracy is stupid. It's stupid. Elect someone who has your interests at heart. Don't ask every citizen to be an expert in every facet of what it means to govern a modern society. I am definitely interested in hearing your thoughts about this one. So please leave comments below. And thank you so much for listening.